What is up, guys and gals? Welcome on back to Planetbase. My name is Splattercat. Super stoked to have you here for the day. I've got a bunch of injured people getting injured all over the place. I don't know what it is, but slipping and falling has become a major concern around this place. And so since a lot of things are being moved around, I think the smartest way to build my base, if I were to do it again, would be to make the whole thing a big ring. Starting with like the airlock, and then you just make it a big ring that reattaches to the second thing that's attached to the airlock. I could still do it probably by going out this way. That would make it easier so that people could pick what direction, and then you could have one that cuts across the middle too for efficiency's sake. I don't know. Somebody who's got a better brain for things like this would have to let me know. I'm not good at prioritizing and making things happen. In general, I just like playing the game and watching stuff happen. And so that is what I do, Captain. I assume we've probably got to do like a sick bay bed in here. Yep, there it is right there. So let's go ahead and we'll take a couple of sick bay beds just to get people all healed up. Put in 2 beds right there facing the opposite direction. Give people a little bit of company for when they need it. In the previous episode, we had suffered several injuries, and so I needed medics to come down here and take care of the people that weren't feeling so well, because indeed it says that they have traumatic injuries. So my assumption there is that once they go into the bed, that a medic will come along and give them medical supplies. Yeah, it looks like it. So he's going to dig inside his big old crate of crosses and make him all better, because that is precisely how medical science works. Now, with 2 of those guys on board, we should be in decent shape. I really feel like I don't produce much over here. There's metal. Hooray, we have it. I prioritize this building, but for whatever reason, nobody seems to be super stoked about working there. We've got more than enough minerals, so I may deprioritize that right there so that everybody else comes back to the fab and starts working on it a little bit. Awesome. How good is it? It's pretty fab. I also forgot to turn off an engineer works, though. We were a little bit low on engineers, so let me go ahead. I'm going to go to my landing permissions. I'm going to turn off colonists for right now because I think we have what we need in order to make things function for a little while longer. I'm going to get them on producing a little bit of metal. I would love for somebody to be on this plastic fab right here because we have like a huge amount of starch hanging out. The other thing that I think it would be intelligent to get started with would presumably be the construction of yet another biodome, because I've noticed that we haven't been stockpiling quite as many. Well, I've noticed that we haven't been stockpiling quite as many resources when it comes to plants and things of that nature. And so I don't know if it would be a better idea to have a second person, like a second biodome maybe over here next to the storage. Had I thought about it, I probably would have made the storage a little bit more functional. But I'll put it right there for right now. That sounds good to me. We've got what looks like a trade ship. He's got a little bit of metal. Oh my god, the value is so high on those. Okay, so what I can get rid of for right now. We don't have a whole lot of spare stuff. So I think... Oh, we can buy a carrier bot, huh? That'd be pretty sick. Actually, we may not be able to afford much here. I need all the other stuff for production reasons. So we might just want to chill for a little bit. I'm going to let him go. I don't think I have any surpluses right now that are really going to allow me to do anything with that anyways. We'll go ahead and fire off a connection right there real quick. You guys should be working on the fabs like around the clock to get this thing mashed out. For the life of me, I have no clue. Ooh, oxygen percentages are down. We may need another oxygen generator too. That's fine. I'll probably try and space it out from this one right here. How heavy is our weight on the water extractor? Let's go with exterior stuff for right now. And with a water extractor, it's going to take us 1 to 2 metal. Weirdly enough, I'm okay with that. So let's get it connected right there. Not going to connect it right there. I'll connect it right there, though. Kind of just keep the grid flowing, I guess. Keep this nice little utilities area isolated. I may stop working on this after it's like, I don't know, 3x4. And then once I get it kind of a little bit out further, either 3x4 this way or whatever, I may just make another one over here so that this one gets hit. I've got a backup on the other side that can be functional. We're finally producing metal, which is absolutely fabtabulous. We've still got somebody in the mine right now. I do think that we should probably prioritize for workers. So let me take my priorities real fast. We still have not received any guards either, but as our population grows, I think it's going to become more and more important. I mean, we don't really need a whole lot more people right now. We've got 5 biologists, and I can't imagine, like, all of these over here appear to be running really, really well. And so if I could build something down here, maybe with some high maintenance. We're producing way too much starch, so that's fine. That means that my starch supply probably doesn't need to be messed with for right now. Instead, we could focus wholeheartedly on vegetables or whatever. Where did that impact? Sounded close. Huh. Well, as long as they're working on the fabs, I don't even care. I've been working on the fab tube all the live long day. It's a song I like to sing when I work on a fab tube. It's just, it helps the day go by a little bit quicker. It helps the day go by a little bit faster. Don't be judgmental about it. Sometimes you gotta work on the fab tube. We may also need another diner. That might be our other problem, is that maybe we could build... Weirdly enough, I need to figure out who interacts with these machines right here, because it looks like somebody actually has to be standing here in order to make more meals. And I don't know if maybe it's a worker who does this. It actually looks like it produces whenever somebody interacts with it. I'm not really sure. That's weird, because there's nobody using this right here. Does it take 2 veggies then to make a meal? Is that why we're having so many problems right now? No, it only takes 1 veggie. Weird. It looks like it stalls production every now and again, and I'm not totally positive why. Like, for example, a second ago, it was just sitting there with vegetables inside of it, and it wasn't producing. A weird thing to consider. Huh. Well, instead of staring at it for too much longer, what you do today? Just watch some vegetables grow. That's all that I ever do. A little bit bursty in our production of vegetables right here, so yeah, I think that this was probably a pretty good call. Let's have a look. We need bioplastics in order to get these up and running a little bit faster. I have prioritized using this over here, and yet it appears to be 3rd on the list or something for what we're getting done. Apparently I used up a bunch of metal too building my water extractor. It's okay. I wanted an extra water extractor just so we could make sure that oxygen was doing its thing. We have enough oxygen for 20 people and we're sitting at like 16 for right now. Did I disable that, by the way? I should not be taking colonists right now. Okay, good. So you guys are working on the fab machines. Good, good, good. I don't know if I want to disable the whole structure, but... Oh, somebody is working on that one. Who's working on that? Oh, there he is right there. I didn't even see him. Since we have an extra worker, it might not be a bad plan to maybe go in on another one of those, too. Can I rotate that? Or, like... Wish that I could rotate that. Is it based on the direction I'm facing, maybe? Let's find out. I'm going to put this back to our so-called neutral position over here. And then we'll see how this all goes. Oh, would you look at that? It looks like it's maybe based on the way you're facing. I don't know. We'll prioritize all of these and just hope that somebody stays working on it, because if they don't, we're going to run out of plastics and metal pretty soon. He's going to load that up right there, and it appears as though they are mashing stuff out. We've got 4 workers here, and then we got 2 in the mine. Let me back off real quick. Yeah, we got 2 in the mine. And so we got 4 right there. That's going to be all of our workers. Bioplastic processor has been built. Oh, sorry. They coincided with that explosion right there. It made me feel super nervous. I thought it said it had been hit for a second. My brain totally looked at the little message down there, and I swear to God, it said that something had been run into by nastiness and horror and just things that make us sad. Our power usage has gone up slightly, and so we will want to keep an eye on the power grid as the days go along, because it looks like we have exceeded. We're using 46, and so yeah, with these right here alone, that's sort of strange. We're producing 68, producing, how come there's nothing else going in? Oh, it's going into that one right there. Okay. I knew that. I knew that, and I should have been more aware of it, but apparently I'm just bad at paying attention. Do we have metals being produced? Metals are being produced. All right, so let's just hang out for a little bit. All we got to do is let the game run for a while. That is one of the things that makes me super nervous about playing games like this on the channel, is that occasionally you come across periods where all you really need to do is just hang out and set up production, and everything should be okay. We should be producing meals in here somewhere. And so, yes, absolutely, definitely, it appears as though we should probably get some kind of biological work going on over here. So let's get something else going. We want high yield. That's all that we want, is we want high maintenance, high yield. Let's go tomatoes. Let's go tomatoes. This is actually going to be 100% food production. There's not going to be any starch coming from over here. So it's going to be a shit ton of food. And then the next one we make will focus really, really heavily. I don't know. I'm not interested in the low maintenance. We'll just keep that stuff going right there. Food is a tiny bit low right now, but I think we should be able to stay on top of it, maybe. I don't know. If we get a trader, I'll try and barter my way into some more vegetables real fast. Should be alright. I may have allowed myself to hit a stop block, a little bit of a stop block here, but worst case scenario is that everybody goes hungry for a little bit. Because production should be alright. Actually, it looks like our entire location is mostly sleeping right now. We're also about to get a yield from right there. We're about to get a yield from over here, so I think we should be able to last just in case. But for right now, definitely a nerve-wracking thing, and I definitely think that's going to be the situation that is the label for the current episode. We got to deal with food problems and just kind of keep an eye on things. Over here, we are producing metals. Do we have any extra ores? We only have one extra ore. On that side, producing plastics, so that should be pretty cool. I'm actually going to deprioritize. Go ahead and disable one of those fabs for right now. And we'll try and get people to focus on these three over here, although I think it is nap time. I think everybody's trying to bail out right now. A little bit more vegetable material being thrown on in. That's good because we're totally out of meals right now. We are, however, that was a big yield right there, so we should be able to just sit here and produce a whole bunch of food after this point. So yeah, there it is. Although I still am a little bit confused about the fact how it doesn't like backstock. Like you see right there how it's got the carrots and it's only got the meal right there. I don't know, how come it doesn't produce both? Like it just sits there with one. Little bit of a concern, I guess. He's fixing the carrier bot, which is good. We got Trader Joe over here, so let's see what he's got for us. He's got meals, vegetables, guns, robots. He's got all kinds of random stuff. Unfortunately, right now, he's caught us at a weird stocking period where we don't really... I'm not talking about any socks either. I'm not saying that we have a stocking issue. Like, we don't need to get any socks. It's not Christmas. I think we should be good. I do think that we could probably do with a little bit more plastic, like some starchy material. We'll be all right. I'll probably dismiss him for right now. He does have things that I want, but we've definitely got to get our production up before I'll be able to do anything else with all this. How's our power draining out right now? We've already been through one battery, but we're halfway through the night. That's good. That leaves us with, like, I think 3 portions when all we need is 2. So we got, like, 3 halves, whatever you want to call it. Takes us 2 jennies to get through the night, and we'll keep an eye on the consumption as time goes along. Over here in the mine, I would like to see production continue over there. And then on this side, if people just want to fabricate stuff, that'd be great. I mean, fabricate whatever you want as long as it's not the truth. If you're fabricating the truth, I don't like being lied to by my workers. Just get stuff done, you know what I mean? Get stuff done. We got 2 meals, 3 meals actually in storage, which will be nice. I could probably afford to put in another water fountain over here somewhere. Yes, I agree. Our food stocks are indeed low. But that seems to be in some part due to the fact that the machines don't like to replenish themselves with all of the vegetables that we have on hand. So are you guys workers or like... So it looks like moving stuff around... Anybody will do that doesn't have a task otherwise. Only one of our fabs is working on this side. We got 5 metal. We got a little bit to play with right now, but not a ton. We got a bunch of biologists at work over here, which makes me very, very happy because I would love to see the food stocks kind of explode from here on in. That was the goal that I wanted to hit right there. I think we got on top of the food issue right in time. I mean, because we're breaking even right now. That's the thing, is the second we get any vegetables, they're automatically being converted into meals, which are then instantaneously being eaten, you know. We might need to open up our production. I mean, how many biologists do I have right now? It said that I had 4 or 5. Let me take a look. No, don't recycle that, sorry. I don't want to click that right now at all. Let's go to our list right here, and I'm going to get a look. We have 5 biologists, and so there's a lot of work for the biologists to do. I think we could probably go with 1 or 2 more. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to go to my landing craft here. I will accept more colonists, and I would prefer to keep this limited to... I'd like to take biologists, workers, and the off chance that we get a guard, that would be good too, because then I could set up some security protocols and see if I could get some other things done. So hopefully the next couple colony ships that come through will take care of it. We've got enough oxygen for 20 people. Right now we're sitting at 16. So keeping a head count, it might be a decent idea to create another oxygen generator, perhaps somewhere in this region, or I don't know. We got 21% oxygen over there. We got 21% oxygen everywhere. So yeah, we are stressing the oxygen system a little bit. What would it cost us for another O2 generator? We can actually make a big one versus a little one. Let's go ahead and make another oxygen generator right there. And that feels alright to me. It's only going to cost us one of the limited meager supplies that we have right now. We have enough minerals laying around, but people aren't really prioritizing doing a lot of this stuff. I think you might have to have like an overarching, heavier workflow before anything else happens. I've still got it prioritized, but people aren't really working on it. Let's go ahead and re-enable that real quick so that people know that there are jobs that should be getting done. We're producing plastics. We're producing the things that we need. We got spare parts, so I think we are going to have to start fabricating pretty soon. I think that in the next episode, we'll probably want to enable our factory, and we'll probably start wanting to work on spares. We've been going through spares pretty quickly, so I think that every time we repair a robot or anytime we have to repair a facility, we might need spares or something like that. So we're going to treat this like a game of bowling and just say that we need all the spares in the world. I would like to see our food supply multiply a little bit because we are totally out of meals for right now. Engineers are just hanging out. Yields should be okay over there. So yeah, we're officially like behind on food right now. So it might not be a good idea. It might not have been the best idea for me to open up colonization at the point we're at. But I think if we wait, there it is right there. So 12 vegetables. There's a big, big yield. And so that should help us break even and get back to where we want to be right now. I assume that each one of these holds one meal, and when somebody picks up that one meal that's being held in escrow, it produces the next meal, although sometimes it produces two, like right there, it produced two. So I don't know if that's like a crit result or like what that is, but whatever it is, we should keep an eye on it. Did we just take another colony ship? I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention to like things going off in that region. It's fun watching all the little moving parts in games like this. I really do feel that that's one of the major attractions for people that play games like this, is that it's cool to watch things happen on screen. So there's a colony ship. Let's see what we get out of here. Let's see what we got in a goodie box. We got a worker. That works out. And I didn't mean that to be punny. It just sort of happened that way. I would have liked to have taken like a biologist. But a worker is definitely functional. I mean, the fabs have extended periods where they're not really doing anything. They're just kind of sitting around. We may also need a secondary mine. I don't feel like the mine is producing a whole lot of materials for us. We've been consistently fairly behind on metal the entire game, so putting in another mine doesn't seem like it would be the most horrible idea that I've ever had. I'm going to keep an eye on the biologists and just sort of watch them to make sure that the conditions of all of these varying plants are being babysat properly. I sort of expanded very, very quickly right here because I was trying to get rid of this food issue. And so I may not have enough biologists to do the jobs that I have on hand. The extra workers or whatever are nice, but so that oxygen generator should give us enough for another 20 people. We shouldn't have to worry about oxygen from here on in. All these plants are looking like they're in a little bit of rough shape. It might have been a better idea to make maybe half of these low maintenance and maybe half of these high maintenance. I don't know. It's all a learning process for me right now. This is only the third or fourth colony that I've made, and honestly, all those other colonies were sort of just learning the basics so that I could start the series up. Let's go ahead and accelerate things a bit. We have like a catastrophic failure around here. I suppose we can live with that. Doesn't leave us any worse off than we already were. Yeah, we might be a little bit behind. I'll watch for colonists that come in, though. If we could get a few more biologists, and in fact, I may prioritize that 100%. I may say that all that I really want for right now is biologists here. Go ahead and give me biologists with like a 10% chance of getting a guard and like a 10% chance of getting a worker. Not in the mood to gamble right now. On the plus side, we have more than enough meals to get things done. It looks like they're just falling down to lower quality while we wait. We got a trade ship right here. Let's pause the game for a moment and see what we can do. Nothing, actually, at the moment. We don't have a whole lot of things that... We have enough bioplastics to where I think we could... Ow. Trading at a loss right there. Trading at a big loss. What's his commission? 60%. Man, we need to figure out a way to get these guys to go easy on us because they are hitting us hard on some of those more expensive purchases. It's going to be nasty. Get on out of here. Out of here with your extortionist ass. Plenty of beds for everybody, I think. We got 8 slots. I don't think we're ever going to have an issue with too many people sleeping or whatever. Meals appear to be stacking up a little bit, which is definitely acceptable. We also appear to have vegetables stacking up, and actually it looks like they're staying ahead of the curve. I definitely think we could use... I think we could probably use a couple more people who are like ready to go with biology work, but aside from that, I'm pleased with where we're sitting right now. It doesn't look like any of these things are, you know, absolutely, totally, 100% broken beyond all belief and repair. It does look like our starch production is a little bit low. And so it looks like our workers were able to mash through that starch pretty quickly to create all the bio things that we needed. He's going to prime that up real quick. A little bit ahead on metal, a little bit behind on starch. Power storage has gotten low. So I'm going to take that as a warning for right now that mayhaps it's time for me to set up another power. Let's see here. We've got, oh, exterior is what we needed. That's what it was. And so inside of exterior, I think we're going to go through and maybe we will consider, what was I looking at? Oh, solar panels. You know, I wouldn't heavily mind going in on a solar panel that's a little bit more efficient than the ones that we had previously. I mean, obviously, I can't make a big one over here. Maybe I'll make the next location have big stuff. I don't know. Let's go ahead and link this all together. Get the power farm all ready to go. Water extractor's looking good. I don't think we're going to have to mess around with the water system for a while. Meals are starting to stack up, as are vegetables and several of our other production capabilities. How full is this room right now? 65%. Okay. Spares and medical supplies appear to be going down. So I would say that for right now, the next thing that I would like to do, he's producing right there. Just producing right there. Let's go ahead and deprioritize this so that they'll just do what they need to do while they're in here. That biodome is looking absolutely fabtabulous. Good. I'm going to try and use the vegetables to produce enough to where we can start stacking away a little bit extra money. We got 28 coins right now. I don't know exactly what goes into the creation of a coin. Let's go ahead and enable this structure real fast. I had disabled it previously because it wasn't really producing anything. I'm going to go in on a fab right there just to make some extra spares maybe. Have this focus on it. It looks like it might be based on the slot that you put it in, like the stations face away from each other for one reason or another. Back out real quick and we'll see what we got here with this colony ship. It should be a biologist. Or do. Okay, so we got a biologist and a worker. That was a perfect pull for us. Couldn't have asked for a better yield, so I'll take that. We got a biologist and a worker. I will probably, now that I know that all of these are going to be sustaining and that we're not like falling apart right now, I think that I'll probably back off my priority list real quick. Let's take you down pretty considerably to maybe like 20%. I don't know if we actually need an engineer right now, like right this second. I don't know if engineers have to activate these over here, if workers can continue to work at the fabricators or how that works. But I would love to bring on board. Give me a little bit of... There we go. Let's reset it to the defaults, actually, and we'll just take whatever we get at this point. But I'll take guards instead of, you know, I'll keep everything even. It'll be alright. He's hungry in here. I think our meals should be fairly solidified. Yes, indeed, that is the truth. We've only got a little bit of starch right here, so production is obviously going to be a tad slow on that. But can't really be helped. I think we need some more engineers to help out with construction because we're starting to get a lot of repair jobs. So I'm going to keep things on the default for right now, and like whatever we get is what we get from here on in. Coming up in the next couple episodes, the way that I'm going to want to develop the base, I'm going to speed things up for just a second so that, you know, things get done for a minute. And I may let this run for a couple of minutes in between episodes just to let things get finished off. But anyways, we have a sandstorm coming in. It's going to slow down work. Cause a little bit of damage for anybody that's outside and working. However, it looks as though a lot of my workers are on their way back in. Hopefully this is not something that can end up being fatal. In fact, I would really like it. We never got around to that second airlock, did we? I was going to say, if I had a second airlock over here maybe, or over here, it would help people get inside a little bit quicker from the mine because the workers, I think, are going through a fairly long... Let's go ahead and disable work right there. I'm not going to let them go back out into the mines because I think these workers are all trying to go out there. We're going to let things fabricate for a bit. Does that hurt my solar panels as well? Luckily, I mean, it sets the wind up to maximum, but it looks like we're actually draining power right now. So yeah, during a sandstorm, it appears as though we no longer have our solar panels working. So that's a little detail that, tiny bit interesting, something we'll need to keep track of. Power might be a tad sketchy going into the future, but I think we can make it for the night. I mean, it's unfortunate this happened when it did because our cells were pretty close to being charged. Unfortunately, we'll just have to wait it out, though, and kind of see what happens. Pretty sure I disabled that building, guys. I don't know where you're going, but I assume they're going somewhere right now. So with the fabricators, it looks like it takes a bioplastic. Oh, it takes both. Jesus. Okay, so with a bioplastic over there, that's actually going to whittle through pretty quickly. We'll probably just want to create the spares that we want for right now and then disable the building as much as possible before we go further. These should recover slightly, which will give us a little bit more time to fill in some of these batteries real quick before nightfall gets here. But do we have enough cumulative charge? It's going to be close. It's going to be close, and it's going to be dependent on how the wind holds out throughout the evening, I think. Yep, I think that's going to be the case. So a 24 right there. We almost have 2 full generators full. It might be okay. Let's go ahead and re-enable the mine. Now that we got people out and around, 2 of these might have been a bit much. I'm going to disable that real quick, and I'm only going to keep 1 up for spares. I think 2 was too much. 2 gonna get me in trouble. But this is the end of our episode. I think we're just about out of time today. I'm having a good time with this game. It's actually kind of a blast. I'll see y'all later. This is Planetbase. Check it out. I'll see you in the next episode. How you do, everybody?